You're hitting on something that I think is so important, and that is that it's important to allow the wildness and the wild growth within ourselves. You
Mhm.
know, I think about anywhere on the land, and I know you've experienced this growing things in your garden, but where things are next to each other and brushing against each other, they grow more. But what would
Mm.
you say happens if we try to suppress and control the wild places and growth within ourselves? What happens if we don't allow the wildness?
Then I think parts of us wither,
Mhm.
we don't grow as strong, we don't flourish for sure. And also we start to fight for our
Mhm.
nourishment. It becomes something that's scarce. And so we become defensive of it, or we fight against something else for it instead of working with that other thing. And I think, this
Mm.
is where wild gardening is a deeply radical and feminist act of rebellion.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because it's like,
Wow.
when we garden wild, we're celebrating that wildness. We're celebrating that connection and that companionship. And we become part of a biodiverse environment where we're not saying, oh, yes, biodiversity, and it's some abstract thing that is important because
Mhm.
of ecological things. Biodiversity we are part of it. We're not human beings
Mhm.
looking at biodiversity and going, oh, what can we do? Our own living structures, our own communities are also part of that biodiversity. So just as a wild garden thrives better than a controlled one, so a
Mhm.
community that allows us to, express who we are and grow where we need to
Mm.
grow, then that's also a strong and healthy ecosystem.
Mhm.